Hi guys, it's Ugo and welcome back to another video. Today I'll be redoing one of my original tags, the book shopping book tag. I created this tag when I created the channel. I'll link the original video down below and the playlist over here if you want to see all people who done it. So it's questions about book shopping, and I think it will be very fun for me to do the answers again and try to think how I changed over the years, because 2021 Ugo is very different from 2023 Ugo. So let's dive in on the questions I did with pop culture reference, and I will try to explain a little bit behind it. So yeah, let's start with question number 1. How do you buy your books? Physically, because you believe in the power of touch, or online, because interactions are overrated. So I tend to buy my books all online, except when I'm in London or in the UK, Belfast, in Northern Ireland, like visiting family. I go to charity shops, bookshops, because otherwise in Portugal I don't tend to buy in physical stores. The English books are too expensive, selections are very poor, so I just bought it online. So I am a fair online person, and I actually don't mind the physicality of buying books. I just want the book. Question number 2. Do you prefer bigger bookshops or smaller ones? Again, I don't have very much of a preference. I think bigger bookshops have a bigger discounts, or better discounts, better availability, diversity, but also smaller ones could afford. If I house in the UK again, I would get sometimes, you start to know people, you start to create a bond and be more having that extra care when you are buying, and a relationship between the bookshopper and the book buyer. So here it's underrated for me. Okay, question number 3. Do you prefer to buy books when they are brand new, being the first to touch them, in great condition, or do you prefer used ones, books that have character, history, and personality? Because let's face it, a book that is used sometimes has a crooked spine, sometimes has a love note of someone writing in pen about how it was a gift. It's very intentional, and I actually don't care. I like to buy new books. I got a lot of pretty editions, but I don't mind to buy second-hand books. I go to charity shops when I'm in the UK all the time. I don't mind when my books come from AB Books. I use also abbooks.co.uk to buy from some bookshops in the UK, and sometimes they came with library bindings, and I don't mind. I like books that have personality, sometimes have personal notes. I don't mind personally, but I also like new books. But if you offer me a second-hand book, or a book that you read all over and you want me really to read it, I would love it as much as a brand new one. So for me, it's sometimes the cheaper is the better if I'm not convinced. Otherwise, if it's a pretty edition, I also don't mind if it's like something that I didn't call and like, oh, I read it once, or it's pretty new, like the cheapest. I actually don't mind that. Number 4, and this one has a pop culture reference, so I'll explain. Are you a coupon TLC level crazy person, or are or a full price Sweet 16 MTV? So MTV have a show called My Sweet 16 Party, something like that, where it was in America, I believe, and people will throw the Sweet 16s, like outlandish parties, like spending thousands and thousands of dollars on a Sweet 16, like outrageous money, like money throwing to the waste, basically, in my point of view. And the TLC channel had one that was like the extreme coupon, and people would like use like 100, 200 coupons, and like sometimes getting money back from the grocery shop. So you have both of them. I'm a person that likes a good bargain. I like to save money if I could. If I see two books, the same book in two different places, I go see where it's cheaper, because more money you save, the more you can invest in other things. Also, I don't have infinite finance to go always for full price, or I don't care if it's like I have to manage my money as I can, and it has to be sometimes the difference between Amazon and an independent bookshop. Like Blackwell's is not already independent, but other bookshops, it's like if it's more if it's 1 or 2, I don't mind. I prefer Blackwell's, for example. Amazon doesn't work very well here with Prime and book releases, but if it's like 7-8 euros, it starts to make like a bit of damage because it starts to be a lot of money. So I'm a coupon. If there were coupons, I would be like that. Then, question number 5. Read, research, analyze Sherlock Holmes-style or impulse buyer like a shopaholic. Basically, like, do you buy all your books, like, not even sometimes reading the synopsis, like, oh, I like the cover in the title, just grab it, or do you read the synopsis, go to Goodreads, see the reviews, go to YouTube and see the book reviews, or, the two extremes. I don't tend to read reviews of books, very rarely, and usually it's when I'm unsure about the book. So I just see the cover because the cover captures my eye and the title, and I read the synopsis to see what it's about. And if it captures my attention, I go. Now with the YA that I'm starting to get over it, I tend to research a little bit the YA books, because if it's too YA, I tend to lead it over. If people say it's not that YA tropey, I tend to like it. So, but I don't do for every single book, definitely not, and I don't do for a lot of them. I did the book haul of Amazon, like very cheap books, and let's face it, I read the cover, I read a bit of the synopsis, and I just bought it because they were so cheap, like 2-3 euros hardbacks. So I'm not that kind of person who over-research. I research for life as a scientist, so I don't research my books. Okay, question number 6. A book or two at a time, or a full cart pandemic style until the mailman dies. At least I had so much fun writing this because we were in the pandemic, so it was fresh on our mind. I didn't bought as many books that I bought on that order that I did a short on in a long time. I usually go 1-2 books, maybe 3 books. Definitely now I'm more a person to buy special editions than to buy normal ones. Definitely more on the thrillers that then they don't do special editions, which is sad. Except when I'm traveling to the UK, because I went to London and I'll probably go to London and other places in like the future, and Belfast to visit my family. I have a suitcase over there. There's like luggage for the basement of the plane, and all the times I went with it came full of books. Last time, in my defense, it also came full of Funko Pops, because now it's my new obsession is Funko Pops. But yeah, so it depends on the time, but mostly I don't tend to do that anymore. Awesome Books also didn't work for Portugal anymore, so in the time of Awesome Books I'll do a full cart pandemic style, because I would order like 40-50 books, like no shame on it all. It was like being being novelty. Question number 7. Do you prefer new and recent releases or older and classier? I said older and classics, but it's like older releases. Imagine if you go 1, 2, 3 years, or you go like, can go by backlog like 2008, 2000, 90s. Like if you go for more new releases, or you prefer to buy older books. I actually don't have a preference. It's more about the book than when it was written. Most of the pretty editions are new releases, but I also like when they do backlog on certain authors, like the Percy Jackson series. He also released a new one, so. But you know what I mean, like, this duology, this already finished, but this one is older, like Stranger Dreamer. It's also, like, I like when they go back to some releases that is old. I also like to read them, so I wouldn't mind, like, new, old, I go more for the story. Now, this one I think, question number 8. Are you a pre-order total fan freak, or wait until it arrives at the bookshop because it can wait? So, I don't tend to pre-order as much as I did. There was a time when I pre-ordered more books. Now I don't tend to buy as many books as I use. I have a lot of books to read here, so I'm more content of buying just special editions, because, you know, they are limited, so if you don't buy them, then you have to go to resell, and sometimes you may have lucky and find cheaper than the original, or otherwise you'll have to pay 100, 200 grand for a book. 200 pounds for a book, so it's insane. So I would say I was more a pre-order total fan freak, especially if it comes like an author that I really enjoy, like Jodie or something like that. I would pre-order Britney's book, but not anymore. I definitely can wait if it, unless it's a special edition, very limited. Otherwise, it can wait until it comes to the bookshop because it doesn't mind. Yeah, it doesn't matter to me. 9, and I think this is one I changed a lot. Do you prefer special, expensive, beautiful covers, color edges, and unique editions, or is it inside the book that counts? And I think at the time I recorded this, the first time I said, oh, it's inside, I don't, and then one of my friends had Fairy Loot, and I subscribed to Fairy Loot and Illumicrate. Illumicrate was the first, and I got my first book, which is over here. I still have it. This was my first special edition. So as you can see, has like these edges, and it was my first edition. And then the boxes start coming, you start getting the, oh, this duology, this, that, and then it's an obsession. You see a pretty book and it's like, it's so pretty, I need to have it. And yeah, so I think I changed totally my mind. It's not just on the inside of the book that counts, because look at this bookshelf with these pretty edges. Will not be the same if I just had plain books. So yeah, I'm now a person of pretty editions. Like, I would not go totally insane, that's a lie. But I like a special edition, it's pretty. I think this was also one that I changed. It's like, you do with me. Picture your favorite book. Do you show your love by buying multiple copies, or do you believe in a single true love? I believe at the time I said one copy is enough. I don't understand why people buy multiple copies. And then I start buying multiple copies. I don't have a lot. I have 2 books that have multiple copies. I have Evelyn Hugo, which I have 2 copies. One which was the artback, that was very hard to find and very expensive. And then the Fairy Loot did the special edition, and I bought it. Then it came Red, White and Royal Blue, which I got the hardback for collector's edition. I got the Waterstones, and I then gift, and then I got the Amazon. And then I got the Illumicrate special edition. So I ended up having 3 special editions of Red, White and Royal Blue. So yeah, I think it's very rare. I don't think I will need more unless they are very, very different. And by now, I think I don't have any book like that I will say, oh, I need to have more special editions like this. So I think it will end with this. Otherwise, I'll just have one pretty edition. I don't think I need more than 2. Okay, 11. Name your favorite place to bookshop. So it's very good to know people, to know places. I used Amazon. It's one of the best places in Portugal to buy books. Some people have lucky to buy in Portugal's bookstores books in English. Sometimes they are a bit more expensive, but sometimes they have good discounts. I'm never lucky. I always order it. Books there, they always delay, they always take months to arrive. I bought like a Sailor Moon editions and I had trouble it. I ordered the Promised Neverland Volume 2. It was like, oh, 4 or 7 days. It took 2 months. So I never got lucky buying books on that shop. But I have friends that buy there, so I'm just unlucky. So I use Amazon, I use Blackwell's, I use eBay Books, which is a site that collects different bookshops. And I used to find like older editions, like the Jodie Pico ones. I usually use that. Then Illumicrate, Fairy Loot, Broken Binding to buy special editions. Although Fairy Loot is rarer, and now I'm no longer a subscriber, so I'm not gonna get any more like the Fairy Troves, because it's insane. They can never go to early access. Early access doesn't have full for subscribers, and then you never go to the general sale. broken binding. I liked it. The editions are just gorgeous. So, and Illumocrate works better for me. So yeah, I like those two for special editions. Oh, Goldsboro also. I got one from Goldsboro. This, yeah, this blue, which is Urk. I got it on Goldsboro. Yeah, it worked well for Portugal. It works well. If you pre-order, you have to buy it again because they don't take your money. It's weird, but then when you understand how it works fine. So yeah, I think those are my places to bookshop. Then it's tech people, so feel yourself free to do it. I had fun. I think in retrospective, I saw that my habits changed in 2 years. I changed in 2 years. So yeah, I think it was very interesting. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you answered these questions down below. Tell me, what places to bookshop do you prefer? Special editions or normal ones? It's okay. All the questions, feel free to say. If you reach this far, don't forget to leave a comment, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell to know when I post. I post at least once a week, okay? And I have down below the links for my Discords, for my book clubs that I host, and also I have reading sprints on the channel during the weekend, so if you want to join us reading or being productive, just pop up and say hi, okay? And I'll see you guys on my next video. Bye!